Well, greetings, my fourth grade math geniuses. This is your teacher, Miss Fowler, and this is our introduction to place value, our first unit of the school year. Now, in this unit, you're going to master 4 learning targets to include recognizing that each place value represents a value 10 times greater or 10 times less than its neighboring digit in a number. You will master reading and writing whole numbers using base 10 numbers, word form, and expanded form. We will compare whole numbers using greater than, equal to, and less than symbols. And finally, we will round whole numbers to different place values. But before we can really explore these learning targets, I need to make sure that we all have a solid grasp of place value. Place value simply means that the value of a digit in a number depends upon its location or its place in that number. Now in class, we will work with manipulatives that represent our base 10 digits. The small individual cubes represent ones. The longer sticks, sometimes called longs, sometimes I call them 10 sticks, represent 10 of those individual cubes, or 10. The flat represents 100 ones, or 10 of the 10 sticks. And the cube represents 10 of the hundreds flats, and it means 1,000 ones. So if a small cube represents 1, then of course 10 of those make a long or a 10 stick. 10 of those longs make a flat, which represents of course 100. And 10 flats make the cube, which represents the number 1,000. We will draw these in class, sometimes to represent numbers. We'll practice in class. The ones I usually draw is just a dot. The 10 stick we'll draw as a line. The hundreds flats will represent as a square. And the thousands cube will just represent as a simple cube drawing. Now here is a labeled place value chart that illustrates the value of each place in a whole number. So by knowing our place value names, we can identify the value of any digit within a given number. So for example, in the number, let's say 2,473, the digit 3 is in the ones place, so it just means 3 ones or 3. But the digit 7 does not mean 7. It means 7 tens. Since it is in the tens place, 7 tens, of course, means 70. So the 7 has a value of 70. The 4, of course, is in the hundreds place, so 4 hundreds means the number 400. Please note that every 3 digits that we move to the left in a number, we add a comma. This comma separates the thousands places. It also separates our millions places. The 2 is in the thousands place. If you have 2 of those, then of course the value of the 2 is actually 2,000. Now, in class, you received a blank place value template. So pause the video as necessary and neatly fill in the names of each of our place values. Be sure to include those commas that separate your thousands place value and your millions place value. Once you have finished labeling your place values, please add these digits into your place value chart. Feel free to color them in lightly with different colors if you like. It just adds a little contrast to the different place values. Oops, sorry. After your digits have been added to your charts, we're going to fill in the value of each digit. So the 5 in the ones place we know just means 5. The 2, however, is in the tens place. 2 tens means that the 2 has a value of 20. Now I want to see how many of these values you can fill in on your own. So after you fill this in, I want you to bring it to school with you and we will review your answers before we add this chart to our math binder. If you have any questions about the intro to place value, just jot those questions down, bring those in with you to class, and we will work through them together. See you in class.